100% of the high school football players I mentor who earn scholarships start with this before they ever send a DM, post a highlight, or talk to a coach. It's exactly what I did to earn a D1 football scholarship in the SEC at just 5'7" and 150 pounds. And if your son skips it, there's a high chance he'll quit before he ever gets a scholarship. That's what happens to most players. They post a few times, maybe send a couple emails, get ignored, then give up. But in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what your son needs to do first so he never gives up on his dream and actually earns a football scholarship. It was just before the end of my 5th grade year, and I was walking in the front door of my house and both my parents were sitting at the kitchen table. I knew something was off because my mom had tears in her eyes. Once I sat down, my dad said to me, "Your mom and I were getting a divorce." And I remember sitting at that table just feeling lost and feeling like it was my fault. And on top of that, I was really struggling in school. And not much longer after that, unfortunately, I walked into my classroom and my teacher had said to me that I had failed 5th grade. And I remember in that moment feeling down and upset and really not knowing what to do next and not even really wanting to be around anymore. And the only thing that I had was football. And so I went on the internet and I looked up the academic requirements needed to play for the University of Miami, which was my dream school when I was growing up. And as I was going through it, I was looking at the academics, what was the GPA needed, all of that. And once I looked at it, I printed it out and I realized that maybe this is something that I could actually do. And so I took those requirements and I put them on the back of my door, I put them on my mirror, I put them in multiple different places, and I had no idea what I was doing at the time. But what I did was I created a vision for myself. And in a moment like that, when everything was going wrong and I didn't know what to do next, it gave me hope. With that said, a lot of people have a vision and you need to have one. But what happened next is really what changed everything for me. I didn't make it my goal to earn a football scholarship at the University of Miami. Instead, that was the vision, because there was a million steps that I needed to execute in order to play at Miami. And so what most people do is they look at all of these different steps that it's gonna take to get there and then end up quitting because it's so far away. If you're the parent of a high school football player who wants to earn a college football scholarship and your son is struggling with marketing himself or confidently communicating with college coaches, I wrote this book specifically for you. Inside it, I share exactly how I earned a Division I football scholarship in the SEC at just 5'7" and 150 pounds, without going to camps, being ranked, and without any connections. And right now, I'd like to give you a copy completely free. All I ask is that you just cover shipping. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can grab your copy before we run out. Unfortunately, most people, once they have a vision, that's where they stop. And that's the problem. Just having a vision or something that you're shooting for way into the future is not gonna help you get there. There's a million steps between where you are now and where you wanna go. And if you make the goal the end result, then more than likely you're going to quit, because you're gonna face so much rejection and negativity and fear of failure and what people think about you and all of these challenges that you're gonna face along the way. And so instead, what we do is we make the goal, the doing of the play in front of you today that you're gonna execute, that will lead to eventually achieving that end result or that vision. And we do that one play at a time by focusing on your next play. And so every day when you wake up, you have a play that you're gonna execute. And at the end of the day, you could say, I achieved my goal for the day, because it's in your control. What I'm trying to say here is that you've gotta make the goal the doing of the actions that it takes to get to that vision, because that ultimately is what you can control. And if you make the goal the doing of the actions and the plays that it takes to get there, then you'll build the skills, develop the habits, and become the type of person that will ultimately achieve the vision. Whereas other people that only focus on the end result aren't going to actually take the actions it's going to take to get there, or they will for a short period of time and eventually quit. His next play on a daily basis are the things that I teach every day on this channel, like how to do outreach and how to post on social media and how to confidently communicate with college coaches. Even though his vision is to ultimately earn a college football scholarship or to play college football at the highest level possible. But in order to choose the right next best plays, we have to know where you're going. And so it all starts with a commitment. And so at the time when I was younger, I had no idea that I was creating a commitment and making an agreement to myself. When I printed out those requirements and I put them on my bathroom and I put them on the back of my door, I signed it at the bottom and wrote to myself that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And so that's the first thing that I have every player that I mentor do. We have them complete what we call now a commitment agreement. And so when things get hard, when they get rejected, when things aren't going their way, they can always look back at why they're doing it, the end result that they're gonna attempt to get there, and the expectations that they set for themselves. Just like Dennis Hale, who didn't have any offers on signing day, but he had his commitment agreement taped up everywhere, and he didn't stop focusing and executing his next play just because the big day passed. When other kids gave up, Dennis kept reaching out to coaches and marketing himself. He stayed focused, he stayed relentless. Weeks later, he landed a D2 scholarship worth over $100,000. Why? Because he didn't worry about the result. He committed to executing the next play no matter what. Dennis is proof of what's possible if your son commits to the process and not just the end result.
It was just the whole personal thing, and we signed the agreement that Dennis just pulled off the refrigerator that me and him signed that your program has. And it's been up there the whole time. But it was just the awesome. It's the personal thing.
The commitment agreement has 4 main parts. Number 1 is the vision. And this is the easiest part. This is the end result that you want to achieve. This is what most people think goals are. I want to earn a college football scholarship, or I want to play at the highest level possible. The second is the why. What drives him? What motivates him? Because when times do get hard, we have to look back and know why he wants to achieve that vision. Why is it important to him? 3, expectations. How will he show up every single day? This is such a critical part of the commitment. This is how you know you're doing everything you need to do in order to get there. And number 4, the signature. This is the most important part of your son's commitment agreement. And this is him signing it, setting it in stone. Most people live their whole life with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. However, if your son wants to earn a college football scholarship, then he has to go all in, both feet in. No more worrying about fear of failure, rejection, or what people think about them. None of that matters anymore. And then you tape it up everywhere. Put it on your fridge, put it on your bathroom, put it everywhere that you're gonna see it, your son's gonna see it, so he can always remember why he's going after what he wants, the end result, the vision that he has, the expectations he set for himself, and he's gotta sign it. Then you make the goal, the executing of the plays every single day that it's gonna take to get there. How many posts on social media, how many DMs and emails that you're gonna send, how many calls that you're gonna make, all of the activities it's gonna take to get to that end result. And you make the goal, those activities that are controllable. So at the end of the day, you could say, I did my XYZ number of posts, or I did my XYZ number of DMs or emails. I did what I said I was gonna do and I achieved my goal. And when you do that every day, eventually you will get way better at everything you're doing and you'll become the person that you need to be in order to get the end result. Now I created a template that every single one of our athletes uses. They print it out and they fill it out to make it simple on their commitment. If you'd like access to that, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get it completely free. And if you got value from this video and you'd like to watch more videos just like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you'd like to watch my last video where I share with you how to turn camp invites into scholarship offers, then you're gonna wanna watch this video right here.